Here you are given the following function, f of x, which is equal to 1/5 x minus 1/8. You want to find the derivative of the function using the definition of a derivative. So let's first write the definition of a derivative. We know the definition of a derivative is f prime of x, which is the derivative, and that's equal to the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x, and then we're going to divide that by h. Okay, so now let's go ahead and evaluate the limit according to our function. So we have the limit as h approaches 0. So therefore, the first function has an input of x plus h. So we have 1/5 times x plus h minus 1/8. And then minus the function 1/5 x minus 1/8. And then we're going to divide that by h. Okay, so now let's go ahead and then distribute and combine like terms where we need it. So if we distribute the 1/5 to those terms, we get 1/5 x plus 1/5 h minus 1/8. And now let's distribute the negative sign here, so we get negative 1/5 x plus 1/8. And then we're dividing that by h. Okay, so now what can we eliminate for 0? So we have 1/5 x minus 1/5 x. We have negative 1/8 plus 1/8. So what we have is the following. We have the limit as h approaches 0 of 1/5 h divided by h. So we know that we can simplify this h. So we get the limit as h approaches 0 of the constant 1/5. Therefore, the limit, or the derivative, as h approaches 0 of that function is 1/5. Okay, so there is our result. Now we want to state the domain of the function. Okay, so let's take a look at the function. The function f of x is equal to 1/5 x minus 1/8. Well, that means we can plug any value in for x. So then we would say that the domain of the function is all real numbers, and that's in interval notation, or we can just write that as all real numbers. Okay, now it says to state the domain of the derivative. Well, the derivative is equal to 1/5. And so what does that graph look like? Well, that graph looks like the following. Okay, we know that if this represents 1/5, then we have a horizontal line, and that means all the values of x will correspond to something on that line. So therefore the domain is going to be the same. It's going to go from negative infinity to positive infinity, or we would just write this as all real numbers.